ain't have nothing to do with me nor Kurt. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo for you.
Don't act like you didn't say that.
I wasn't there. Now, damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they on some hay.
Don't act as though you didn't mention to them that I wasn't there. I'm not going to approach anyone about it. They were threatening you because they had too much you. They had nothing to do with Kirk or me. A storm was building. The cameras were rolling. The lights were bright. And the crew was present in the room beneath the surface of what was intended to be a typical recording of the well-known reality program. But for Yandy and Rasheeda, everything around them appeared to fade into the background. Yandy had always been a strong lady, but tonight the stress of the situation threatened to break her calm. She left them alone in a conflict that had been building for a long time. Though it had never been this way, MDCs had always been at the forefront of their drama. There was no doubting the history between Rasheeda and me, the strong bond, and their shared past that had always simmered just beneath the surface. But when males received DCs, it felt like their world was collapsing. Involved with Yandy, things started to change. Rasheeda had been a dependable friend and confidant in Yandy's life for years, but their relationship had always been difficult. Initially, Rasheeda had supported the relationship, but as time, this wasn't the typical lighthearted banter that had formerly characterized their friendship. Instead, Rasheeda's remarks cut through the air like a sharp dagger, and Yandy could feel the heat rising in her chest every second the gloves were off. Will you actually sit here and defend him? Yandy. Although Yandy's blood was boiling, Rasheeda's tone was sharp and her words were dripping with disbelief. You're still going to act like he's your knight in shining armor after everything he's done, she said. Seemed like a direct assault. Why do you always have something to say about MC's shortcomings when Rash has always been ready to point them out and hold him responsible for their issues? Although Yandy spoke firmly, her annoyance was evident. You're not the one in this partnership. Don't sit here and pretend the one who has to deal with his mistakes, baggage, and past. Although Rasheeda sneered and rolled her eyes, Yandy wasn't finished. She had already reached her breaking point. And wasn't the a moment to retreat? You don't know what we've been through, what I've had to forgive, and yet here you are acting like you have all the answers, Yandy said, her voice getting louder with each sentence. You've always had your ideas, but you've never been in our shoes. Her heart was at stake. The tension between the two ladies was intense, and there were a lot of hidden hostility and unresolved emotions in the air. It was no longer just about males. VCs, the competition had been boiling for years, and there was more to it than that. The fact that Rasheeda was in MC's life had always cast an eerie shadow on Yandy's relationship with him. I have no idea what it's like to have a partner that makes mistakes all the time. Rasheed has retaliated, hurting us both, and I'm tired of seeing you pretend that he has changed. Yandy, you think you're the only one who's had to deal with MC's mess? Her eyes narrowed in anger. For a brief minute, Yandy felt the ground shift beneath her and wanted to lash out and scream at the words that seemed like a smack in the face. The cameras were rolling, and it felt like everything was falling apart. But despite all the suffering she had caused, Rasheeda refused to let anyone enjoy seeing her shatter. Many's mistakes had pushed Yandy to her breaking point, and she had been fighting to keep it together for so long. But today it felt like Rashi's persistent interference and the ongoing unrest had finally taken their toll, and the dam was about to explode. Their dispute intensified while the crew watched in the background, uncertain of how to step in. Knowing they were seeing the breakdown of something far more significant than a female rivalry, it was the breakdown of a relationship. A battle for dominance and respect that had been brewing for years with no obvious end in sight. As Yandy bounded off, the cameras kept going. Word on the street was that men from BC had become weary of referring to her as their wife and had finally gone back to their true love. Erica Rasheeda's anger simmered just beyond the surface, exhausted and furious, as if Yandy had lost her fight to keep her family united. The true battle for Yandy had just begun. It wasn't just about Rasheeda or MCs. It was about navigating the mess her life had become, and whether she could trust anyone, even herself, again. Some even conjectured that they were already married. Getting even more sticky for those who hadn't figured it out? Explain. Yandy's pride was the only thing holding her in the marriage. And now that men had moved in with Erica, it felt like she had lost all control. In addition to calling out, we all thought that after all the effort and hard work Yandy put in while he was in prison, she would finally enjoy her marriage. However, she was also giving Erica a clear warning to leave her guy or else it will be. On site when they meet. Even attended counseling to resolve their problems. But as they say, once a cheater is a cheater. And rather than receiving loyalty for keeping the family together while he was incarcerated, NY says chose to move on. Now, let's discuss Yandy's fiercest rival, Erica. Just in case you didn't see it, if you have been following the love triangle and Erica have been at odds for years. It is evident that male VCs have failed to set boundaries with her. She is aware that MBEC is still seeing Erica and hasn't been completely honest with her about their marriage. But her conceit and haughtiness lead her to believe she is the only woman in his life. She is skilled at pretending everything is all right since, as we all know, things aren't always as they seem. Before Yandy entered the picture, M's first baby mom and men had been together for a long period. Samantha revealed that one of the only people he really loved was Erica. According to Erica, she and MDC had lived together, traveled, and interacted with his whole family, was loyal to him, and assisted with the care of his first kid while Samantha was away. But when things became difficult for MV, he wanted someone with security and a future plan. He found Yandy, and they were married. He was already romantically involved with Erica now that he's out of prison and holds a steady job. According to sources, men, let's face it, Yandy doesn't deserve the punishment she is receiving from DCS, who deserted her and moved into a new home with Erica. She held him down, repaired his issues, and became involved with a baby. Drama. Men without hesitation. DC's even told her that he was married for duty rather than love, and acknowledged that if the roles had been reversed, he would never have supported her the way she supported him. She shouldn't have been involved in this ongoing problem. They were berating you because they had too much ammunition for you. Don't act as though you didn't mention that I wasn't there. MC's mother was disrespectful and worked diligently to care for his kids. I will definitely not be coming to someone about their amazing hair.